Hello, this is Ed Villebrun from Green Lake, dual recovering addict. Um, what else?
That's
A good part
father.
of my father.
No, you're a father.
Oh, I'm a father. What else?
A grandfather.
A grandfather,
A boxing coach.
a boxing coach,
My friend.
my friend.
And you've been sober for how long?
I've been sober for 27 years,
27 years.
but only drank once before that, around 30 some years. So I've drank once in 40 plus years.
Wow.
What do you want me to you get on with how I got there?
Sure.
Okay.
Start right from the beginning.
I had a good upbringing, a very loving mother. Uh, my dad was strict but also very loving. I had a real caring mother. Uh, Shortly after, I was around 12 years old, 11, 12 years old, we moved to Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan. To us, that was a big thing because we didn't have to cut wood anymore. We didn't have to go fetch water. Everything was there. And shortly after I started doing wrong, I'd miss school. I'd stay up all times of the night. My dad and mom were getting old, so I took advantage of them. And all night long, I'd go all over the Meadow Lake. With my parents not knowing I was gone, I'd open the window, I'd get out of the house, and then 2, 3 in the morning, I'd come back. And 2 houses to the right, there was a whole big family like we had, and they used to all. I started right from a rough age to figure out to make a few dollars, what way, whatever way, didn't matter. I got, and then the older guys they'd go get wine, and then we drink that, and then. A lot of times I'd get into fights there, but the guys being older, they'd beat me up. And but as I got older, I started learning. You can't be always uh, like doing that. I more or less try and do something proper. So I thought I was doing proper. I went and seen the judge in Meadow Lake, Judge R.N. Conroy. I'll never forget his name. He got me to stain the outside of his house, and he'd pay me hourly. The outside was all cedar with a kind of a varnished finish. So I do all that. Next thing I started snooping around inside his house, and I found some checkbooks. And I thought, well, I seen how he signs his name, kind of thing. And I thought, but I can't make a check for too much where he'll know right away that I'm ripping him off. Judge R.N. Conroy would write that real good, and $100. Oh, and just like I'm a real important person, them neighbors when I had that much money. And then after that, shortly, I was getting in trouble. So my dad sent for my older sister Rose and said, "Take him to Edmonton. He's no good here. He might do better in Edmonton." So being all I was is in the middle of a field with bush around, and then uh, and then Meadow Lake, and so I went with her. The first night I got there, I stood on a balcony all night, impressed with the lights. Oh, I thought that was heaven, eh? And
That was your first time seeing the city?
first time ever seeing city lights.
Mm.
There was no lights in Green Lake. And then after that. The next day, it was daylight. I didn't sleep all night. Went up, down. I found escalators. That was just like going on the ride, eh? Your
Yeah.
stomach would feel it and that. When I started looking around, had to look for myself. My sister's talking about work, so I didn't really want to work. Didn't know the city for one thing. And I figured, okay, I seen some people panhandling. I talked to a few of them how to do it. I started doing that. Holy shit, a person can make a lot of money panhandling. Like then $50 was a lot of money. And that's what I'd make till my sister caught me. I was in big trouble. So she gave me she said, either you're going to get a job and I'll tell you two places to go check out. They'll hire you. Tell them you know me. That, because you can't live like that. She said, that is very pathetic way kind of attitude. Okay. They said, if my husband ever seen you do that, you'd be out the door. So I listened. She found me a job, um, wiping cars off. Minute Car Wash or something to do with the name of it. And then I found my own job too, Abbey Demolition, taking plates off whatever, till these buildings were pretty well gutted. And then they push it down with a cat there. Worked there for quite a while. And all of a sudden, I was so happy. I had two jobs. Everything was going good for me. But that alcohol wouldn't leave me alone. I just kept going backwards. Every chance I get, I'd drink, and then all of a sudden, this one time, I hung around very rough people, always knifing each other or whatever, shooting each other too. And around a week before that, my brother was sleeping and these guys entered and they were like hitting him and throwing a blanket over and hitting him. And I jumped up and then by then he had already stuck that place in how many of them. Then he went and he said, we got to go see like that guy that got stabbed, the brother. They went and fought someplace they didn't tell me where. But then around a week after that, then after we stuck knives in the door so it can be opened in no way. That's real good way of locking yourself if you don't want nobody to bug you. And all of a sudden, this music came on. Johnny B. Good, you ever hear that? That unreal. Then I come out of my bedroom. There was two churches like outside and little table. I sat down. This guy, hello, how you doing? Know my name, everything. And I didn't know uh, nothing about him. And he said, you know what? You come with me. He said, and there's a woman like you wouldn't believe where I came from. He said he didn't look right, like his eyes and that, his body, like it didn't move right. I started getting scared. And here he was telling me to go with him. He's getting me the best looking woman, the uh, best of everything. So it's easy when somebody looks kind like that, blue eyes, to listen. So I thought I'll go to the washroom first. I went to the washroom, but I was getting scared, so I started praying. Don't let this be the devil that's drinking with me because I can't handle it or something to it. My prayer. I come out, I lost him. So I went upstairs. This was in the basement. I went upstairs and my brother was sleeping. I said, who's that? I was kind of getting irritated. Who's that you let in? Your friend, I told him. I don't have a friend. I wouldn't let nobody in. Well, who is it? It's probably the devil. He told when he said that, my hair just stood, stood on end there. And that was one of the first times I wanted to quit drinking. I knew something was coming on to me and it's just going to get worse, right? And even yet, they just give me the chills when I talk about it, eh? But shortly after, turned my life over to God, like, became more of a, not really a heavy Christian, but pray a lot, pray for everybody. And that's done me a lot of good that way. Let's see. Oh, and then around, it seems to me today, a week, but it wasn't probably longer length of time. There's a guy who got killed from Middle Lake by the last name of Villebrun. And these people knew I was from Middle Lake, and I ended up at a party at their place. And they were talking like this, on a sneak, like, and like they're going to drive me home. And then I didn't want to ride. I'll walk home before. But no, no, you're coming with us. You're coming with us. They put me in the back of a sports car, kind of like your car. And they started whispering again. So, and then there was this pro wrestler, Dean Hipko, came with me. I told him, come with me. They're going to kill me. I said, you might as well come with me. And so he came with me, but they dropped him off first, and he lived way further. They could have dropped him off first. So they dropped him off, and then now they're starting to argue with me. Right from the back, I rifled a shot right behind that one guy's head. He was out, one shot. I made it count because I knew they were going to do wrong to me. Then I jumped out at my sister's place. I jumped out. I grabbed that guy by the hair. I pulled him out. Boom. Right. And then I pulled on his eye. Freaking blinded him. 10% was all that was left in his eye. And but you have to, in a time when your life's up, and I knew my life was up. I had that feeling, and so then I went to the hospital to tell him, "Don't he talk, or else, that's a dangerous thing to do." So I could have got arrested, but I got arrested anyway. And around 6 months, I went to court. Next thing they said, you know what? Because of your wild ways when you drink, the judge said, we should put you in the big house. But since your age is young, we will give you uh, what was it, 18 months back to back. You're going to finish 18 months, he said. You're going to start your 18 months and do another 18 months. So that's a long sentence for a young kid.
How old were you?
15, because then the system was you had to be 18, or let's say 15. No, you had to be 16. It's 18 now. You had to be 16. So, but they didn't want to send me to the pen because they didn't think I'd do good, as I fought a lot. They knew that. And then you go fighting big men in a pen, you end up getting killed,
Right.
you know. And so my mom came down. Just wanted to cry, but I put her through. Coming all the way to Edmonton from that old lake with an old rickety car to sign me away. But things like that kept me growing, and in a good way, So when I was in jail, I this old man came to and sat in my cell. He said, "You know what?" He said, "How are you doing?" And got to know me a little bit. And then all I talked about was fighting and alcoholism. So he told me, "You know what you do? Come and start going to meetings. They're nice looking women," he said. "Come to the meetings and you get to eat donuts and drink coffee." And then I thought, frick, I'll go just for that. And I went for that. But that old man hung on to me, eh? Like, "Did you go to a meeting today? Are you going?" And staying on me. I got out over half my sentence because of that house. So I went to Henwood play. It's alcoholism house, whatever. Went there, and when I went there, there was a nurses going through that program too, so it was good. They were, young like me. I was probably the youngest there, and there was and then something caught me, and to this day, it's the whole AA book, and that's what caught me because I learned to live. I went through them steps 12 times. I finished 12 steps, and then my sponsor told me, "Well, that means you start all over again because you didn't do the first 12 proper. Now you'll see a better." So I done it twice anyway, and yeah, I seen a big difference in my way of life just through like 30 years. I went just steady. I'd never miss a meeting. I haven't went for a long time now, but then like I've got people like you to talk to too, and there's quite a few people I know that I talk to. And then after I come out here, I ended up in Lethbridge. My brother lived there. And still, I'm talking every time I talk to you, or anybody, it's fighting. Talk about fighting. And I fought on the street like freaking you wouldn't believe that. I'm busy. That's how you do it. Like, why she knows I'm busy.
Oh man.
But next thing I had to get a sponsor. Like I'm going back now instead of ahead. But the same thing I went, he was a Frenchman, and reddish hair and that old man to it. He was rough on me. He said, I know Kayep and I know Blairor. This is a small community. You know when you'll freaking dummy up, he told me? Is get in one of them gyms and play yourself out. You're going to be okay. And he'd always tell me that. Go to the gym. Are you going to the gym? And he'd really make sure to go to the gym. So old guy, I'd see him at the Green's Pop Shop. It's a confectionery. Oh, I just wanted to go to the gym. I belonged to a couple of gyms before that. And no, no, not now. No, there's no, kind of an asshole in different ways. That guy, and even after I boxed for years, he always had his own attitude. Finally, second year, I wasn't even going to ask him anymore. There was only one boxing club too, but I thought the reserve will take me and I could travel with them, and I did later. And he come right up to me, said, "Do you want to start now? Are you in shape?" Like that. No, I didn't want to say I'm not in shape either. He won't take me. Yeah, I'm in shape. And oh, did they ever put me through workouts? That's a gym that and they were good to me, all of them. Rick Duff came in later after I was there for quite a while, and then Kayep was rough, so whip you with a freaking uh, skipping ropes, them leather ones, just like that.
That
But
was that was Rick's coach too?
yeah, Rick's coach a lot. Bob Cardwell, Red Deer coach. That was one of my sparring partners too, and yeah, there was a lot of good boxers come out of there. Carmen Rink. Uh, and the list goes on. He always had around 330 decent fighters. And for every good fighter, he'd have a good sparring partner like me and Rick Duff.
Mm.
I sparred with him a lot. And then all of a sudden, he got too good to spar with anybody. So had to go to different gyms to spar. Uh, and yeah, and then all of a sudden, after boxing a long time, few years with him, they shut it down in the summer. So they just have it, in
Mm.
winter. And no, they wouldn't have it in the summer boxing. The other way around, in the winter they'd have it. And so just that day, I had the key to the gym. I could have worked through anyway. But Blair Orr come in, and he was world rated heavyweight. And my son, he was all my stepson. He was always bad for putting me to the test. Are you scared of him? Well, why don't you spar with him? Yeah, attitude like that, eh? And I'd say, "Oh, okay, I'll spar with him." But I was tired that day in a mall, father son relationship kind of sparring, the two gym, and I punched out all his fighters. They weren't that good. Kickboxers usually aren't that good, and when you're a boxer and in good form, you'll take you'll usually beat them. But then lately I've seen some pretty good kickboxers, and told me I'll make you a deal till boxing starts again. Come to our gym. We'll show you like kickboxing, whatever. I forget exactly what one of them kickboxing, kung fu or something, and you can come here and then we'll exchange. You and I trained around three of them to be Canadian champs, showing them how to box and stuff. And every year for around 8 years, I've done that. Next thing, he had me competing kickboxing. That's where most of my kickboxing, and
How many did you do? Kickboxing?
34.
34.
34. I sometimes think 37, but I think it's 34. In around there. Uh,
And how did you do?
I done good.
Yeah.
Mostly all wins. Done better there than boxing. 30, I'd say at least 30 wins. I didn't lose many.
Did you use mostly boxing when you were
Yeah.
kickboxing? Yeah.
But then a lot of them was 7 kicks. You had to let go first. 7 kicks, and then you can use your boxing. So I stopped a lot of them with my boxing. Left hook usually. Right hand sometimes. Left hook is my best punch. Yeah, real a good life.
Mm-hmm.
Boxing is and this is what saved me from that 102. I think my brothers tallied up 102 years of independence. I had done that first bit, uh, back to back 2 years, but I didn't do them like 18 months back to back. I was supposed to. I just done, I think, 15, and they let me go because I dummied up. I done programs. Then my brother's like, this last one that died, remember, in Vancouver, 37 years. He
Mm.
punched out Copus every freaking night, and that Jeff Hill. That's how good he was. But come out, as soon as you have two, three fights, win them, he'd sit on a couch and interview him, then he'd lose his head. If I ever could have straightened him out, he could have been a good pro. And Oscar he was a dynamite puncher, light heavyweight. Yeah. Anybody like on the street around here, there's even a lot yet that recognize that modern name. We had like a tough name, not only boxing, all of them box. There's only two out of my family that didn't box. The rest did. My dad boxed. My oldest brother, two of them, one my half brother, and one they were in the army. They boxed in the army, and then when they came out, they boxed a few fights, and then they quit.
Mm.
Yeah, lots of brothers. Copus knows Oscar, and definitely knows Walter. I watched them spar. He was just stopping Gary at every turn. Mind you, Gary was just 17, maybe, but still, he was he was a way better boxer than Gary Cooper. I know that. If they fought in competition, he would have stopped. Yeah. Jeff Hill was something else. Well, I sparred both of them when I was younger. When Gary, the year he turned pro, I sparred with him 6, 8 rounds a night, and he doesn't remember.
Where is Jeff Hill from?
Jeff Hill is from I think from around here. He
Mm,
fought out at Saskatoon, three-time lightweight champ
mm.
boxing. You know who he fought? Sunshine quite a bit. For his Fardo trained with Sunshine quite a bit. Yeah, I know all of them. They were just kids when I was boxing, and you know, they sometimes fail to recognize it though, and that bothers me. But I just pray and let it quit.
Did you ever spar with Rick and Randy Smith?
Yeah, both of them. I was supposed to fight Randy Smith twice, and he didn't come to Lethbridge. I don't know why. Not going to say it was scared of me because he was.
Right.
But yeah, I sparred both of them. Is Randy's gone, right? Randy died. Yeah, he's the bigger one, and Rick I think is still looks rough though.
In Saskatoon?
Last time I seen him, he's one of the head referees in Canada, probably one of the top three.
Mm,
But somebody told me he died. But rough, rough into drugs, eh, them boys,
yeah.
like coke and heroin, things like that. And they were both good. Like Randy, I don't think he hit hard enough. He couldn't have stopped me, but I think he could have given me a licking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He was
It's a
quick,
good boxing.
very southpaw too. Not
Mm.
both, just straight southpaw. Yeah. But he didn't, when we'd spar, he wouldn't even affect me. I at Petite's, I sparred with him. My brother was there, and I just come to town, and whatever town I went to, they made me spar. Because I was around so long. And, yeah, in Fort McMurray, Grand Prairie, when Willie DeWitt was there, and the list goes on.
Who?
Willie DeWitt.
Oh yeah, my dad was talking about him
Yeah,
too.
in 1984, he went to Olympics, and they cheated him.
Mm,
So otherwise, he could have been gold medalist. Then he fought 22 pro fights, and Joe Fraser's nephew knocked him out. Yeah.
mm.
And
Who's
that
the hardest puncher you ever fought or sparred?
I beat two Canadian champs. One is Kevin Loonan. He just won the Canadian middleweight champ. They had a card in Lethbridge, and I beat him unanimous decision. And I forget the other one. He was from BC. He was a Canadian champ at welterweight, I think. Eh, Erie or something like that. And you met Guedam there,
I don't know.
little colored guy. I trained him. He won four Canadian titles in a row. Turned pro, and I think he won a few there too. He trains out of Calgary, Calgary Boxing Club with the Filipino. He trains them.
What's his name?
Guedam.
Mm.
You know that Guedam? An old man died here at Beaumont Boxing in where was that? Calgary. And they asked that old man before he died asked me if I could take over that club and coach it till one of the boys, one of his sons, come out of it. They were pretty sad when their dad died. That old man was probably will be like that. That old man, all times of the night, was having meetings in his hospital. What he's going to do, his plans, and he had big plans. And all of a sudden, that Sunday, I was going to come there and agree to whatever I could. And he died that night.
Mm.
Yeah, the old man. Now, one of them head officials in Alberta, that's their dad, and they're real happy every time they see me. And Guedam, I introduced Guedam to, so he was good. But Guedam, there was four of us brothers in the gym at that time. There were out of jail kind of thing for that time. And we'd all spar with him, and he'd fight right-handed. He was getting the best of us. Then all of a sudden, to register, and he signed left hand. Are you left-handed? Yeah, he said. Well, switch. Come here. I said, switch. Started beating us up. He
Mm,
was, yeah. A lot of them, like wherever we went with you, I know a lot of them people
yeah.
that are on the,
You know everyone.
yeah, pretty well. Some of them pissed me off one way or another, and
Yeah.
I don't talk to them. I'm not like some of these people, they hold grudges forever. I really let it go. It's not worth it.
It's like boxing politics.
That's what it is,
Yeah.
boxing politics. And there's too much of that.
Yeah.
Way too much. Like there's people there that I know I'm way better to coach.
Hmm.
But I like around most of them. Yeah, well, that's when I have that in my heart. And I also believe if I was given a platform to freaking train 6 fighters, look at Eric. Where did I take Eric? 7-0 or something. And all of a sudden he's taken away from me because he was winning, not because of anything else, you know. And but then you know what I think? There's another Eric Brown court. Just wait till I get up on my feet, eh? You're the only one who's ever given me the chance to coach. But to me, when you coach a fighter, you don't just take them to nationals and to go get a little bronze medal. Frick, push them through right to the freaking Canadian Championship, then on to the world
Hmm.
kind of. And the reason that's not happening, fighters are not being improved at a certain, they're just taken so far. Then the coach don't know what to do to further him. Elmer is going to be a good coach someday. We talk all about this boxing, what could be done. I'll ask him, okay, well, what do you think should be done with Cole right now? He'll tell me.
What
Yeah.
does he say?
He doesn't say very much. Says you're doing good and that you're speeding up and your punches are straightening. You wouldn't think as long as you fought, you're finally straightening your punches out. The best I've seen you is at Ford Gym.
Which one?
Ryan Ford, when you went to his
Oh yeah,
gym.
yeah,
I
yeah.
watched you. You look like a freaking pro. You look good.
You know why? He was really critiquing me,
Yeah,
and he would stop me, and then he'd uh just tell me he'll be like, just do this, like he'll just a little bit of adjustments.
yeah.
So in those videos I had was after he like
It was
stopped me
young.
a bunch, and he was telling me it's like, how come you're punching like that, like on my hooks too?
Yeah,
He was like showing me like just little
yeah,
adjustments here and
yeah.
there.
That's all you need.
Yeah, it
Right.
was good.
I know. If I work with you, I know what adjustments to make.
Yeah,
I know you. If anybody knows you, I know you inside out. But right around now, you're looking good.
yeah,
You're pushing
yeah.
Vicky
The
around.
like
You're
with
pushing Vicky around.
the thing with you is like you know what I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm trying to do. So then the adjustments you make for me is like with that understanding, whereas other people tell me what to do, but they don't understand what I'm trying to do.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
just telling me what to do from what
I,
they're trying to do,
you know what?
you
I
know?
study what you're doing. I study what you want to do. And you'd be surprised how much I watch you in here.
Hmm.
I'll be laying down in the morning too early. I'll find you and certain things you're doing and that. And you're starting to punch a lot sharper, a lot straighter. You're not going to get hit as much because you're moving good and that. And that's what I look at. There's a lot like Rick Duff. It's not Kayep totally. I trained Rick Duff, and he knows that. He doesn't want to say anything about old Kayep. I don't either because they're a coach. But he was southpaw, and I like after I fought southpaws after using him for a sparring partner, I only lost one southpaw, and I fought around
Mm,
10 of them. And all of them I beat because Rick was a strong southpaw, and the southpaws I fought were a weight class below and weren't as strong. I
mm,
stopped a few of them too. It's surprising once you've fought as much as I have, you get forgetful. Even names. I've been trying to remember that Erie or something name from BC, and he was light guy too, lighter than me. I think he was 147. I was probably around 160, but I beat him like unanimous. Kevin Lonan, I beat unanimous. So that's two top fighters, two of Canadians' best,
mm.
you know. So once I see these fighters here beating fighters, Canadian champs, then I'll know we're going the right direction.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's getting better here.
it is.
It's getting a lot better.
It is. You got some good fighters, you.
Yeah, I just gotta get them to start fighting.
I hope my shoulders weren't buggered up because I'd freaking slap them around to the point of they wouldn't be getting hit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But that's bare knuckle. He's going to be good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
How is he when he takes a good shot?
Which one?
The one that I think he's around a 205 pounder.
Like Ryan?
Yeah, Ryan.
Yeah, he's getting way better.
Yeah. How
Yeah,
is he when he takes a shot?
he's good.
Yeah. See, this is the thing I always look at when somebody like you, fucking King Kong could punch you and you ain't gonna go, you're gonna fight back. But some of those, they're good and then all of a sudden, boom, one little shot and they lose their
Yeah.
composure and
Even in
everything.
sparring, you can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's where you see it. And if you see it there, and I could do pads, around the last time I ever held pads was I slapped you, remember? That's the last time. Don't, don't pull a focus. You never slapped
You
me.
never even touched me.
I-
Yeah, I do remember.
what did you tell me? I'm going to tell Debbie. So could you make a story out of that, what I told you?
No.
Too jumbled up.
No, that's good. I don't really edit it like that. I just let it go, let it flow. It's good.
So it was good.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything too far out.
No.
Now that I'm done. No, but
Why okay, I got a question for you. When you were talking about drinking, when you were talking about you didn't drink for 30 years, you said, and then you drank once and then you didn't drink for 20 years?
something like that.
So how come you
As
drank that
as
once?
as a total from 17 to now, I drank once.
And why did you drink that once?
I was lonely.
Actually?
No. What how did I drink? No. I started my brother, the last brother that I lost. I seen him at, but he like he done a lot of well, I couldn't say too, but anyway, for that reason, I seen him at 7-Eleven. I went for a jog on 10 miles. It was all my normal like jogging and thing. And I seen him. And then I come home and then I had a stepdaughter there that everybody figured it's my daughter, but I knew damn well she wasn't. And then I come in and she said, Dad, look at this big freaking 66 ounce of real expensive liquor. And but I was pissed off at my son-in-law because he never brought a frickin' penny in. He'd bring a whole bag of fish, not even fixed, to the house, and he'd drop it by the fridge. That's what I bring. This is my share of like. Okay, just wait. Had it up here. I'm gonna punch the fuck right out of him. And so then they went to I don't know where they went. Then they came back. They said, Dad, is it okay if we drink here? Because the place was in my name. Yeah, and I paid for everything too. And I could think it would be okay. I'll have a drink. It was, oh, she was just excited. She wasn't around half hour later. So I was freaking punching son-in-law around like crazy, just playing it. And when you're just playing and you're a boxer and you're in tip-top shape, that playing can get pretty rough, eh? So, all of a sudden, like, I got him with an uppercut, left, right hand, all on target, eh? He's just wobbling around. And then, I drank most of that freaking 66. Here I was gonna have a couple, eh? You never know when you're an alcoholic when you'll fall
Mhm.
off, eh? And, he said, "Take, go to the Manos and get another one, the same thing." All of a sudden, she's freaking 50s, hundreds, and everything. Fuck, what's happening? I thought they never give me nothing. Here she was a hooker, my stepdaughter, and I didn't even know, eh? Well, whatever, I thought. And, so we went to Manos. Here, a guy I helped 9 months sober up because he couldn't go to town because they got charged as a young woman, selling young woman or something, and he got wrapped in there. He wouldn't have done it, I don't think. I took him home. 9 months later, when he beat the charges, he started being a prick. And then I used to drive him to town, cruise around to the places he's not supposed to go, and come back to our place. And he, he started giving me shit about watching wrestling. He said, "That's fucking pony shit. Why watching that?" And I said, "Well, number one, this is my home. That's my TV. I'll watch whatever I fucking want." Donut was, and I said, "As a matter of fact, you want a drink?" I said, "Don't be a fucking prick about it. Go have a drink." My door swings both. Come back. If you're not drinking, you can come through the door. If you are, I don't fucking want you in here. And so I dropped him off in town there. And he wouldn't come back and got shy because he went and got drunk. But that's not the story I was going to tell. What is it?
I don't know.
Still pissed me off. No, but it's like I'm stoned.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but Rick, I just lost it.
And how did you feel when you woke up the next day?
Oh, like I was going to die. That's where I was heading. Freaking like I was dead. And then, no, then I ended up, that's what I was saying. Then I ended up at Manos. And then, but she stayed, my daughter stayed because she had a little Eskimo baby. Somebody had to be there. So we buggered off to a freaking place where the party was going on and I recognized everything. But I didn't know where I was. I was fucking
Mm.
blacked out. Eh? Then finally I, like, he didn't have a beard, but the one guy I pushed his head up. The fuck you doing here? I told him that. By then I thought I recognized the place. It was my place to put the rule down here, what's going on. Three guys I punched out, each their turn there. All three guys were in jail for murder.
Mm.
That night they could have stuck together and killed me. But anyway, instead they two of them got scared, fucked off, so there was just one left with us. He pretended he was sleeping, he wouldn't wake up. And then but liquor he was leaving my system. I was waking up. We ended up in a freaking by your hotel over there. We that bush. We got stuck in there and didn't know where in the hell we were. But and then I'd grab myself, punch him. All the way I gave him a licking in that bush because I said, "You set me up, that's why we're lost. You shouldn't have brought me this way." Talking stupid from being drunk. Eh? Finally I got him. All of a sudden we ended up this one place coming out, waved the cab down. We got in a cab just and then now we're going home to 20th and O. You know that blue bar?
Blue Diamond?
Blue Diamond there is where we could have came out, but we came out
That's
at
one of Demi's favorite places. Yeah.
and I ended up in Barrie. right at the berry. And this freaking big, not Iranian, Romanian was driving and listening to us talk while I told him, "Do you have money?" And he said, "No, I thought you did." And I said, "I don't have any. Fuck, you should know that." And and I did, but I didn't want to pay the cab either. And got out. He chased my. He didn't bother me. He chased what's his name. And then we were hungover. Holy shit! Now we're going. Oh no! Because they. I found a pot here when my brother had 50th birthday. We brought that pot there, and that's where the food, probably whatever we cook. And holy shit! I looked in the fridge. There's big, long, fucking square cheeses like that. Fuba sauce, and I just loaded it up. And I told him, you never fucking give anything at the house. Fucking all this home. Like he was roughing it towards the end, carrying their groceries from this. And then he didn't do anything. He was just swearing that so many. Then he kind of ran. And then he come back at me. Then I just thought, "Oh, I'm not going to run. It's not my problem. I didn't order the cab. I was ready to argue. Me, I didn't know. And then got home. Then I got back. I passed out, woke up, all I fucking tasted that old beer, freaking smoke. I was freaking
Mm.
like, real freaking dumb, I thought. And then they say if you can remember your last drunk, you won't drink again. I haven't drank since.
You think if you would have blacked out, you would have drank again? No, good.
No, I'll never drink again. I know that. But sometimes believe things happen for a reason in life. So you can never say, I'll never drink again. You just got to think of today. What am I going to drink today? And sometimes you have to go 5 minutes at a time, 10 minutes at a time. If you're real vulnerable, you might drink. Something has to break your heart for one thing to drink. And if you can keep that in check and keep your heart strong and in believing in your beliefs, you got good beliefs too. I don't know whoever taught you that.
The internet,
Yeah,
YouTube.
probably. No, you've come a long way. I've looked at you and I would have been a lot further ahead too if I used my head on stuff. No, I
Well, I'm lucky because I had Demi
yeah.
since I was young.
And I had Ruby. And she buggered me. I'll go to the washroom.
Okay. How was it?
What? Washroom? Yeah, once I found a light, it was very good. And didn't find it.
You know, you should talk about having like like your mindset on having kids later.
When I was an old man.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I always wanted to have kids. But there again, I figure it wasn't meant to be. Especially when I see Elmer. Elmer sits on my bed, morning, rubbing my legs, holding my feet, whatever. She got very scared. Thought I was going to die, when I got sick. And that's not over. I'm not out of the woods on that either yet, but I'll fight it. And I asked the doctor very honestly, am I going to beat this? Or am I slowly going to die? And he said, no, you're going to beat it because you're a fighter. He says, of all what you do, you were running 14 kilometers. Did I show? I didn't show you where I put the marks, eh? Every lap I go, I put 42 laps I went. Running,
Mm.
running, walking, sprinting. Like that at that freaking place, not knowing I was sick. If I can do that sick, what can I do sober? I also have friends that 70 some years old that running marathons, so I'll make it back. But about kids, I always wanted to have kids. I never thought I ever would because every time I was with somebody, they couldn't have kids. Like I'll go down not the last one, the one before the two wives away. She got hurt very bad in a fight. She couldn't have kids. Then no, that was the first one. The second one, now Ruby, she could have kids. She could have had a whole bunch of kids probably, but she got sick and she had cancer and everything. Yeah, so she gave me two, Siobhan and Elmer. And but when I was leaving that Brenda, that time I got sick of her because she was using a lot of my money. I was making deadly money then, and but just like you told me, I seen Ruby sitting on the somebody's lap and that. But you don't believe when you love somebody. How bullshit I thought. Well, a friend phoned me and he said, "I want to talk to you." That's the second time he caught Brenda doing that. Eh? Well, fuck, you're dumb. He told me. You're wasting your money. You're wasting your freaking life. You'll never. You don't have her heart. You gotta have a woman's heart. Told me, and she couldn't have any kids. So, but when I was leaving her that morning, I have a cross. I still have all my cross, and I looked at it. And I said, Jesus, why haven't you never given me a child of my own that nobody can touch or take away from me? No way I went to work in Lloydminster. All of a sudden, I just give 3,800 to Brenda to pay bills are in arrears. Eh? But sometimes in painting, you don't have any work, and then you have for a bunch of work like that. And she wouldn't answer the phone. Second time I phone again she won't answer the phone. So I phoned my brother-in-law, which is my cousin, and I told him, "What the hell's going on here? I suppose you know," I said, "but you're so chicken shit. Your wife has you wrapped around whatever." And I said, "Tell me the fucking truth, or when I get there, I'm gonna punch you." What I told him, and he's always been scared of me. My you know, Francis La Liberty, they call him. And then he phoned shaking in his voice. "Oh, Rodney, you just died last week. Rodney La Liberty took off with her." And I said, "Well, they better not have him touch my furniture or anything." I said, "There's going to be shit anyway." I told him. So I hung up on him. We was scared by the time I got there. Eh? My mom wrote me a letter and um, and left it with my brother. Do not do anything stupid. And you know what? I bought a gun. Uh, what's that round thing with
The scope?
a scope? Everything. You know what I thought? Now if I can freaking get a silencer, they're fucking gone. I'll kill Francis. I'll kill his wife, and I'll kill my ex. Oh, how are you going to do it? It's like somebody's talking to me. Eh?
Mm.
Well, I'm going to get on top of this school. I've always got ladders. Come on. I've got ladders. I'll do it. So I'll stay on top of the roof, and if they come out, I'm going to snipe them out. Eh? So I was freaking sick. I was sick that time mentally.
Mhm.
And but my mom saved me. She said, they're not hurting me. They're hurting themselves. You buy all the groceries in that house for everybody. You pay all the bills and everything. Don't do nothing, my boy. That will be sorry for." He said, "Come to Meadow Lake." So I went to Meadow Lake. Ruby was waiting for me there to this day. And I didn't start going with her for 3 months, I'd say. she showed an interest, so I thought might as well, but my mentality has taken me to places unbelievable. Like, because people have hurt me, like every woman I've been with somehow hurts me. Things people are putting things in the way like that, like it's like a war, eh? And then that war could get you sick inside. And I strongly believe that's what's happened to happen to me.
Mm,
But I'll beat it. I won't let nothing bother me anymore. Yeah, I can. The way my boy sits there and, I look at him and I think, holy shit. I made a tough boy. Well, for everybody else, he's tough, but not me. He's scared to lose me.
mhm.
Yeah. Meant so much to him when you phoned that time. He said the first one that phoned me was, that means a lot to him. Yeah, quite a, we've had a kind of a rough time lately. Which, what, we'll pull ourselves up there.
Yeah.
You can't say die and give up.
So I keep fighting,
Keep
keep
fighting.
pushing.
Keep fighting. And not only that, I want to get hitting the bag and stuff once I get that operation. Like they
Mhm,
could cut 12 feet, 10 to 12 feet of my intestine off. But that's just laying there anyway. It's good for nothing.
mm.
So I don't care. They can do whatever they want, but I promise myself I will run a lot of miles. I'll do a lot of push ups. I'll hit the bag a lot. Yet after them operations, no, I'm not going to give up. I even say to myself, you could even spar. You can get to that point.
Mhm.
You got a good gut. Why? Why is the reason I don't spar is my gut. I'm scared to get hit there because I've always wondered what's wrong.
Right.
But once it's one of the things they'll do is they'll open it up and put a screen and then toughen it up that way. And then the other one is the intestine because the intestine is here and it's got veins. The veins are closing up on me. Very dangerous for a heart attack.
Mhm.
But I'm on blood thinners to help that so I don't die all of it.
What about you were talking about your mom calling you and talking you down. How was your mom?
Loved my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom never drank an ounce of alcohol. Never. She had it to the one of she was sick and one of the kids said have a joint and they done that same thing to my dad. Eh? And she did once and she didn't like it. But alcohol she never did.
Mm,
She was very loving, very Christian like, my dad would go get drunk and come home, beat her up and stuff like that, and then they'd put the Virgin Mary and we'd all pray our rosary that dad wouldn't and it would always beat him. He didn't beat my mom when we had time to say the rosary.
mm,
Yeah. My mom was the most beautiful woman with blue eyes, same color as, Demi, her eyes. I'll
mm.
show you a picture one of these days. She's still right by my bed. Yeah. My dad looked identical to Elmer.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Tall too?
tall to Elmer's taller by a bit, 3/4 of an inch. He was 6'1", and Elmer's 6'1", 3/4 something. Yeah, I had beautiful parents. My dad was freaking super tough. Nobody could touch my dad in northern Saskatchewan. They were all scared of him. They wouldn't even fight him. Okay, Green Lake, there's a dance going on. Two people are fighting. Dad walks in. They just sit down.
Mm,
Like, okay, was tough, my dad. Way tougher than me. And there's a brother I got that was way tougher than me. Oscar. Oscar wouldn't give up. Freaking, he was 68 years old, punching up. There was a whole bunch of boxers that were on 6 or 7 fights from Green Lake. Punch all of them out. one by one when they come bugger around. He had a camp all the time by the railroad. They knocked that all down now. And he'd stay there. He'd give the change to whoever to go get liquor. And then if somebody doing wrong dealings or something, if he can get clean shot on him from him sitting down, he'd hit people from there and knock them out. Big
Mm.
freaking hand. I fought with him 12 times. I beat him 2 times. 10 times he punched me out. But he was never tour. We made a deal. I don't think I like that deal. We're brothers. Let's not hit each other in the face. How many times he accidentally cranked me in the. Oh, that was accident. And he has a big clown. He liked to laugh, eh? Sometimes he'd hit me like that and laugh about it. That was my closest brother.
Mm.
Oscar. Oscar, these gangs, he'd go right to their camps, everything, just freaking talk to them. Yeah, gangsters, they're not what people claim to be. They're nice. They're not never bothered with me. It's just I wouldn't go on them. I don't know them.
Yeah.
But him, he went any
They
place.
seem mean to me.
I mean,
That's good.
what else you wanna know?
What else? Where did you learn to speak fluent
What do you mean? So,
Cree?
as kids or
Just raised, just learning,
raised?
hearing it.
I see a lot of what's going on in the. Uh, I don't know who it is putting it on, but they're making that one that her name was with the dude. Is that his girlfriend yet?
Who?
Denny. Did you have an old lady?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, remember Denny? Denny and
He was hanging out with Rhonda.
Rhonda.
Yeah,
Rhonda don't speak proper Cree.
yeah. I think she's just learning too.
Oh, is she? Oh,
Yeah,
well, then she's doing good if she's just
yeah.
learning.
I don't know
But
if
all
she's
them
fluent.
people that talk Creole here,
Yeah.
they make a lot of mistakes.
Okay.
But then there's different Crees, so that kind of buggers me up. I
Right.
don't
Right.
want to
Yeah.
say, hey, you're not talking proper Cree, when maybe they're talking proper Cree and Green Lake Cree isn't. But like, we're a lot.
Right.
That thing you said the other day, mischief,
Yeah. Yeah.
mischief.
Yeah. Just different dialects,
Yeah.
right? Different
Do you
areas.
have you met Richardson Warren? He was Gerald Gerald Morin. That's my cousin. He was Canadian, president Canadian. He was vice president not too long ago. Real top politician for AT.
Okay.
Yeah, but a lot of them people are getting mixed up now because they're. Want to go?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Uh, I just talked to him before coming here, and yeah, he didn't talk much about politics, but real nice guy.
Mm.
He's been good all his life, and when I was who was it? Oh, when I was with what's his name? I talked to him from Quebec. Me and Elmer talked to him once in a while. Luke didn't.
Oh yeah.
I went to him once. He gave me just wrote out a $2,000 check to get Luke for Elmer, eh? So that's pretty good when somebody helps like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But now he's not in power. But he's still working for them. He works as a Métis. Yeah.
Mm.
Pretty good guy.
That's good. Well, should we call it or what?
No, I want to say more.
1 hour and 10 minutes. That's pretty good, eh?
Not that.
How should we end this?
Muy estás.
See you later.
What does muy estás mean?
See you later.
Just
Talk
later.
later.
Just later.
Just
Yep.
later. Give a shout out to your kids.
Oh, what am I supposed to say?
Whatever you want.
They'll see this, eh? Oh, God, I don't know what to say. Was this good enough, girl?
This is good.
Elmer, Kelsey, Savannah. Was that good enough? Till later. Goodbye.